How to create a great logo.
So Henry, everybody talks about brands and they associate brands with logos, which is something that's memorable, right? But for people that are starting off or a new business and a new brand, logo is probably the most important thing, and it's so difficult to, how do you create a logo, and what's the whole process behind that?
That's a great question. I get it a lot. What I see the biggest problem is people try to do too much with their logo. They want the logo to explain everything about the business. And that is not what a logo is created for. A logo is created to identify that business entity to a symbol or word mark or something that is memorable, like you said. But what happens is people try to cram 5 pounds of you-know-what into a 2-pound bag, and it never, ever, ever works out. I'll give you a quick example. Starbucks, right? The Starbucks logo, there's not a coffee cup, there's not even a coffee bean near that logo. Yet it's one of the most iconic logos in the world. FedEx. Do you see a truck in that logo? Do you see a hand truck in that logo? No. But that orange and that purplish color, the arrow in the FedEx, right? Like that is what makes it super iconic and identifiable. So you don't want to fall into the trap of trying to do too much with your logo. The other problem that I see is people get super romantic with their logo. And that is not a good look at all. It's not about you. It's not about whether you like the color blue or you like the way that E looks, in the logo. It's about your audience. If your audience is not going to remember that logo, if they're not going to connect with it, they're not going to really resonate with it, then it's a bad logo. Too many people design their logos based on their liking and not their audience's liking, and that is a horrible rabbit hole to go into. So you want to design the logo for them, not you.
So when it comes to logos, the color scheme, the color of the logo, should that be consistent with all of your other marketing and branding materials? Does it have to, like the website, match your logo and all that?
Absolutely. So you want to keep a consistent look and feel throughout. So keeping the same typography, keeping the same color scheme, and making all of that consistent is really subconsciously going to build the trust and credibility of your brand. So keeping, and I could talk about for days, color psychology. So when you're picking colors for your logo, colors of your logo need to obviously represent the values of the brand, but they also need to connect with the values of your audience. So make sure that you're picking the right colors based on what your audience values, not so much you, right? Because that's what's going to really move the needle. Last but not least, guys, simplicity always, always wins. So I work with a lot of solopreneurs, service providers, professional service providers, doctors, lawyers, anybody that really leverages their expertise to make a living. And what really works best as far as a logo is concerned for these types of folks is word marks. What is a word mark? It is simply a very intentional typography that resonates with their audience and is super, super simple. Look at a lot of the law firms out there. They don't have these jazzy looking logos. It's Johnson and Phillips, right? Attorney at law, right? And it's done in a credible way, and depending on what the values are of that brand and who they're attracting, you're going to get some strong typography or you're going to get some softer typography, right? But it's just the typography, right? A lot of people think that, oh, well, you just typed out a word. There's nothing to this. That's the point. Those logos will live on for years and years and years and will never have to be redone, and they will be timeless versus the logo that has all these weird illustrations trying to do too much. And I think that falls into a lot of different categories in business where we all try to do way too much. The less we do, the more impactful we are. And that is a mindset that I've started to really take on and embed into my nervous system because it's really helped me scale. So those are 3 points there.
What about hiring someone, an expert like yourself, to create a logo? Is that an investment someone should make? Should they try it on their own?
Yeah.
Where does a guy like you come in?
Well, I'll tell you, you can try it on your own, but I'll tell you right now, I've seen this go down hell in a handbasket when people try to go in and try to make their own logos. 9 times out of 10, the business owner is not a marketer. They're not a designer. They're not a brand specialist. And they don't know what typography to pick. They don't know the history behind logo design and the process. When we design logos, you can go back to one of my videos as we get into more detail with this, but we have a super systematic process to get us to the logo process. We don't just start throwing out logo samples. We go through a very deep strategy with the client. We really identify who the client's audience is, and we start to create this stylescape, which you've heard me probably talk about in the past. We've developed that, and we do a hell of a lot of research, and then we get into the logo design process. So if you want to go, if you have the time to do all of that, be my guest. Knock your socks off, design your own logo. But if you want to hand that off to a professional and get it done in half the time and get it done with an eye from someone who has an eye for design and has been doing this for over a decade, what do you think the outcome is going to be? So there you have it, guys. How to create a great logo to really help you connect and resonate with your audience. For more tips and tricks on how to scale and grow your business, go check out some of these videos. I don't know where Steve puts them, but up here. And you're going to get that value that you're looking for.